News out of Washington, Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush is being investigated by the Justice Department. Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. According to Punchbowl News, the Democrat is being investigated for allegedly misusing funds meant for private security. Our political editor Mark Maxwell joins us with the late-breaking details about a subpoena at the Capitol. Mark?
Yeah, Kay, we have not yet laid eyes on that subpoena ourselves, but we have independently confirmed that several members of Congresswoman Cori Bush's staff have also been served with subpoenas in recent weeks. Warning bells started ringing publicly yesterday when a clerk of the U.S. House read the existence of that new subpoena into the record on the House floor. So as you can imagine, reporters immediately started digging. We're now hearing the feds may be looking into whether Bush used either federal money or campaign funds for her and her husband's international travel to Central America. She's also spoken a great deal about her own personal experiences with the pressures of poverty and life on the job in the public eye. Just Saturday, she suggested the $174,000 salary in Congress wasn't quite enough to cover all the cost of living there.
D.C. costs about 3 times as much as St. Louis. We got to have a home where we live, and we got to have a home in D.C. So we got 2 homes, 2 sets of clothes, 2 sets of shoes, toothpaste, everything.
Hello family, welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host Richard Harmon. Today I want to come to you and talk to you about squad member Cori Bush. She's currently being investigated by the Department of Justice for inappropriate use of campaign funds. So Cori Bush previously is of one of the major champions of the Defund the Police movement. She was initially brought into Congress largely because of her stance and how widely outspoken she was in terms of the whole movement itself. She's historical and infamous for the fact that she was championing defund the police while also spending thousands of dollars, 50, 70,000, maybe even to the hundreds of thousands of dollars for security to protect her life. From there, she ends up marrying one of the security guards and keeps the person on staff. So she's currently being investigated, seeing if that she's using the campaign funds to travel and to spend money in terms of her and her husband. Again, we're seeing this currently with Fannie Willis, and we'll see exactly how this plays out. I'm going to play a little video here of Cori in previous times talking about this particular situation. We can watch a little bit and come back and talk about it just after that. Your first time joining, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and here we go.
New records show her paying tens of thousands of her campaign dollars to her Army vet husband for private security, on top of payments to other security services. Yes, police bad for you, but private security that I don't have to pay for personally? Good for me. Bush has doubled down in recent years and become one of the most vocal advocates of the Defund the Police movement in Congress, long after even most Democrats have distanced themselves from the idiotic and ridiculous position.
You're one of the few Democrats now who still says, let's defund the police. Are you worried at all that that could hurt some of your colleagues going into the midterm elections?
See, the thing about defund the police is we have to tell the entire narrative. People hear defund the police, but you know what they'll say? Say reallocate, say divest, say move. But it's still the same thing. We can't get caught up on the words. People spend more time focusing on the word defund than they spend on caring and addressing the problem of police violence. They would rather I die? You would rather me die? Is that what you want to see? You want to see me die? Because that could be the alternative. So either I spent $70,000 on private security over the last few months, and I'm here standing now and able to speak, or I could possibly have a death attempt on my life. I have private security because my body is worth being on this planet right now. I have private security because the white supremacist, racist narrative that they drive into this country, the fact that they don't care that this black woman that has put her life on the line, they can't match my energy, first of all. This black woman who puts her life on the line, they don't care that I could be taken out of here.
All right, guys, so here we go again. This seems to be the year of unravel and hidden truths being found out. So again, we're hearing about the investigations going on currently with Fannie Willis. We're seeing here Cori Bush The things are just really just out of control right now. What's happening a lot of times is we can expect even more of this to occur, just for the fact that there is so much of the same information being passed around. So again, Cori Bush here decided to marry someone who was part of her detail. Again, the issue that many people are having with her, and many people I think will understand in general, if you are in Congress, if you are a Supreme Court justice having a security detail, that's understandable. The issue that many people are finding is that she was so outspoken for the idea of not having police, period. Putting them into mental health, professionals and things of that nature, and then going out and hiring the actual same police that she wanted to defund. Again, that's a serious term in terms of hypocrisy, and many people are upset with her as a result of it. And instead of her realizing a lot of times and saying, you know what, I do see the issue there, she comes out and says that she has an important mission on Earth and she has to make sure that she is alive to complete that particular journey. And the same thing that people look at, they're like, well, if you have to complete your journey, why is my life less important than yours just because you are in Congress? And there's a huge divide that's growing right now between those who are in Washington and those who are in the rest of the world. We see issues with the massive amounts of spending and the funding going to Ukraine, and the issues that right now that are happening with the border. I think people in general are waking up realizing just about how badly the money is being spent. They're seeing inflation eat at their everyday life, and they're seeing just the ineptitude that's going on right now in Washington. Many people who have been longtime Democrats are now looking for other options. The Black community in general, they're realizing more and more that this, particularly just voting one party, has not served them at all. And I've been someone who has, been a part of that movement for probably 7 years now, saying just, that the principles that are stated by the Democratic Party are not principles by those who say that they are believers. They're not principles of those who are just everyday people looking to raise families for the most part. And more people are opening their eyes to that. Right now, we're seeing a huge, massive influx coming across the border, and we're seeing right now as the long stronghold that Democratic Party has held on the Black community, receiving many times 90% plus of a particular vote, is beginning to wane. And what's happening now, many people are suspecting that people are being brought across the border to shore up their new voting base that will vote for them. The irony would be if most of those people come here having seen where they come from, and they refuse to side with communism and choose instead to go with the Republican Party. This is going to be a continuing story that we cover here, just in terms of the magnitude of it. The squad became national prominence over the last few years after the entire George Floyd situation, and how much they pushed for DEI and things of that nature. And you're seeing bit by bit that this is being clawed back. Ilhan Omar has faced a lot of backlash. For one, she was married, say, to her brother, and ended up, leaving and getting married to a campaign finance professional that she hired. And now Cori Bush is now facing issues herself. This is going to be interesting 2024 and years to come, and we look forward to covering more and more. If it's your first time joining, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and have a blessed day.